I am 104 years old today. I am sitting here on my sofa looking at my hands. They have a lot of wrinkles, and they move slowly now. People often come to me and ask how I lived this long. They want to hear about a special food I ate or a secret exercise I did. But I tell them the same thing every time. The most important things I know now are not about my body staying alive. They are about how I finally learned to live my life without being miserable. I spent the first 75 years of my life doing almost everything wrong. I was unhappy, I was constantly blaming other people, and I was always waiting for something to change. It took me 7.5 decades to understand the things I am going to tell you now. I want to share this with you so you do not have to wait until you are 100 years old to feel okay. For a very long time, I thought that my life was bad because of other people. I thought my parents didn't give me enough love. I thought my first husband was the reason I was bored. I thought my bosses at work were the reason I didn't have enough money. I spent years complaining and waiting for someone to come and fix my problems. But when I was 75, I realized a very hard truth. No one is coming to save you. I realized that as long as I blamed my husband or my past, I was giving them all the power over my life. If it was their fault, then I couldn't do anything about it. I had to stop being a victim. I had to admit that I was the one making the choices to stay in those situations or to react in those ways. You have to own your life if you want to change it. This sounds simple, but it is very difficult because it means you cannot complain anymore. You have to accept that you are 100% responsible for how you feel and what you do next. Once I accepted this, I felt like I finally had the power to make my life better. Another thing I wasted a lot of time on was thinking that it was too late for me. I used to say things like, I am too old to learn a new language, or I am too old to start a business. I was wrong. I look at people who are 40 or 50 and they think their life is almost over. In the sources I have read, a woman named Pat became a professional nutritionist when she was 50 years old. I didn't start my best years until I was 75. The truth is that time is going to pass anyway. If you want to go to school for 4 years to learn something new, you might worry that you will be 54 or 64 when you finish, but you are going to turn 54 or 64 anyway. You can either reach that age having done something you care about, or you can reach that age still complaining that you didn't try. Don't just sit there and let the days go by. Choose to start something now so you don't feel regret when you are my age. I also had to learn a very big lesson about love. In my first marriage, I thought love was just a feeling. I thought that if I didn't feel excited every day, it meant the love was dead. I became indifferent and I stopped trying. This was a huge mistake. I learned later that love is a verb, not just a feeling. Love is something you do. It is about how you treat the other person every day. It is about showing up and being helpful and listening even when you are tired. If you don't actively take care of your relationships, they will fall apart. You have to be the one to maintain the connections that are important to you. You cannot just wait for the other person to do it. If you are indifferent and you stop putting in the effort, you will lose the people you care about. When it comes to money, I made many mistakes. I used to buy so many things. I bought expensive furniture and clothes and things for my house because I thought they would make me feel better. I was trying to fill a hole in my heart with shopping, but those things just became a burden. Now that I am 104, I am doing what they call Swedish death cleaning. This means I am getting rid of all the stuff I collected over the years, so my children and grandchildren don't have to deal with it after I am gone. I realize that money does not buy happiness, but it does buy you freedom and choices. If I could go back, I would spend less money on objects and more money on things that gave me freedom. Don't waste your life working a job you hate just to buy stuff that you will eventually have to throw away. Use your money to buy yourself time and the ability to choose how you live. I also want to talk about health. I don't like to use fancy words for it. Your body is like a machine that needs to be taken care of. If you don't put the right food into it, and if you don't move it every day, it will stop working correctly. I see so many young people who treat their bodies very badly. They eat food that is not good for them and they never walk anywhere. Then they are surprised when they feel tired and sick at age 40. Health is your most important asset. Without it, you cannot enjoy your money or your family. You need to be consistent with taking care of yourself. It is more important to walk for 15 minutes every single day than it is to go to the gym for 3 hours once a month. Just do the small things every day to keep your body working. If you don't make time for your health now, you will be forced to make time for your illness later. One thing that helped me find peace was learning to avoid drama. When I was younger, I cared a lot about what people said about me. I would get into arguments to prove I was right. I would listen to gossip and get upset about things that didn't even involve me. But now I know that true confidence is being quiet and calm. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room to be important. If people are talking about you or being mean, you don't have to respond. You can just stay away from the mess. Your peace of mind is worth much more than winning an argument. I also had to stop being a people pleaser. For years I said yes to everyone because I wanted them to like me. I was exhausted and unhappy. Now I know that I don't have to make everyone like me. I just have to be honest and do what I think is right. I also want to tell you about jealousy. Sometimes you see someone who has a better house or a better job and you feel bad. But envy is just a way to see what you actually want. Instead of being angry at that person, look at why you feel that way. If you are jealous of their travel, it means you want to travel. If you are jealous of their success, it means you want to work harder on your own goals. Use that feeling to understand yourself better instead of using it to be bitter. Finally, I want to talk about the fact that life ends. Many people are afraid to think about death, but for me, knowing that life is finite is a good thing. It helps me see what is actually important. When you remember that you won't be here forever, you stop worrying about small things that don't matter. You stop staying mad at people. You start telling your family that you love them every day. It makes you want to live your life right now instead of waiting for some time in the future. Don't wait until you are 100 to start being kind or to start doing what you love. You might not have as much time as you think you do. I have made a list of 10 things that I think are the most important for you to remember. I want you to read them and think about them every day. First, your health is very valuable, so take care of your body. Second, consistency is better than doing a lot at once. Doing a little bit every day is how you get things done. Third, stop trying to make everyone like you because it is a waste of time. Fourth, love is about what you do, not just how you feel. Fifth, you are the only one who can change your life, so stop waiting for someone else to do it. Sixth, don't compare yourself to other people because everyone is on a different path. Seventh, buy freedom and choices instead of just buying more things. Eighth, forgive people quickly so you don't have to carry that anger around. Ninth, it is never too late to start something new because the time will pass anyway. And 10th, choose to be peaceful instead of trying to be right all the time. I have seen the world change so much in 104 years. I have seen wars and new inventions and many people come and go. But these basic truths about how to be happy have never changed. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to take responsibility for yourself and be kind to others. I wasted 75 years before I figured this out. I was a people pleaser, I spent too much money, and I blamed everyone else for my problems. But once I changed my way of thinking, my life became much better. I hope you can learn these things now while you are still young. Don't just exist and let life happen to you. Don't just exist, actually live. Every day is a choice you make. Make sure you are the one making the choices for your own life. I spend my days now in a very simple way. I wake up, I eat good food, and I spend time with people I care about. I don't have a lot of stuff, but I have a lot of peace. I don't worry about what people think of me, and I don't get upset about things I cannot change. I took control of my own life when I was 75, and it was the best thing I ever did. You should do the same thing today. Stop looking for excuses and stop waiting for a miracle. You are the one who has to do the work. If you want a better life, you have to be the one to create it. It doesn't matter how old you are or where you started. What matters is what you do with the time you have left. I want to end by saying that life is a very big gift. Even when it is hard, it is still a gift. But you can only enjoy it if you are the one in charge of it. If you let other people or your past or your excuses be in charge, you will never be happy. Take the power back, own your mistakes, and own your future. Be the person who shows up for their own life. If you do that, you will be able to look back when you are 104 and feel like you did a good job. You don't need a lot of money or a lot of things to have a good life. You just need to take responsibility, take care of your health, and treat people with love as an action. That is the whole secret. There is nothing else to find.